And today I got Micheal Ketchen. He's been on the link in my video before, but he's got a new venture, new thing. But those who haven't seen him before or heard him before, Micheal, kind of give your background to where you are now.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Raj. I'm happy to be here again. And thank you for taking the time. Yeah, I'm a former educator who was working in a tough urban school. That was fun and interesting. Then I basically was running around. We turned around the school, but I mean, it was nuts. My wife, I wasn't seeing her. She was commuting to a long-term job, and we both looked at each other and said, there has to be something else. So we stumbled into this silly thing called real estate investing. Just hit our 5th year anniversary of our first closing, and we've scaled it up to about a $40 million portfolio, and we're financially free as of a couple of years ago, and now we love it, and it's afforded me opportunities like I'm here to discuss today.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, you have your own investing now. You're venturing into new venture, and I'll let you get into it. So with that being said, first get into the venture. What are you going to do now? Yep. And also, obviously, who can you help and who would you like to connect, which kind of explains the venture. But anyway, go ahead.
No, that's great. Actually, so this all started a little while ago. We did a podcast for a year. Me and a good friend and another investor, Jack Dalrymple. We took a year and did a great podcast called Tell Us Why, which you were a guest on. We loved it. And after that year, I loved so much about it, but I also I wanted to be a little bit more hands-on. So we took a step back. And I really was missing teaching and educating. And we've scaled the team. I can get out of the day-to-day a little bit more. And I decided I want to go back and kind of build a mastermind community the way that I wanted to do it. And essentially, I think it's more important than ever, especially the way the economy is working, the way investments are working right now, to really be surrounded by some like-minded individuals to kind of be a support circle. I don't think it gets talked about enough, but being an entrepreneur can be very lonely. You're going against the grain of conventional thinking a lot of times. There's only so many podcasts and books. The unfortunate thing about podcasts and books, they don't talk back. Right. So that can be tough. And I want to give back, and I also want to grow myself. So I had this idea, and I said, okay, if I was going to do this, what would it look like? And I took elements from masterminds I've been in that I've enjoyed, and I put my kind of little spin on it. And the listing went live. I capped the cohort the first time to 15 individuals, and it sold out in 2 days of going live, which now I'm thinking, man, I probably should have asked for more and made a bigger group, but here we are.
Awesome. Well, talking about teaching, I shared this with you privately, but, personally, when I met Micheal, when he talked about it, I kind of believed that he was a good teacher. He would be a good teacher. So folks, I know I'm not in this mastermind, but I just believe he'll be great at it. So if you want to be in a mastermind, maybe it's next session, hit him up now. So you can get in the list. Obviously, it seems like he's in high demand. So I'll post his website and whatever I have available. And so you can hit him up and see if you can get on the next one.
I appreciate that. And I have a couple of really cool nuggets on that exact note. One, we were surprised by the demand. I mean, I was floored. So one thing I'm doing is we opened a link up to it's going to have a calendar schedule. It's going to be up in a couple of days where you can still hop on. We can connect. You'll get put into the CRM, and I'll actually take a 15-minute call with you if you're interested in learning about anything from investing to the way we view financial freedom, any of that. And as other opportunities come up, you'll be made aware. And secondly, Raj, I wanted to thank you for everyone in your network and how great you are at this, because my first guest on a very important topic is mindset. And our good friend, Dr. Jamil, that we both know you connected me with, I am floored. He's coming on. I can't believe the guy's willing to do it. I'm telling all the guests, I'm like, you don't know the treat we have. He's coming on and joining the group for session number 1, which I think is very vital. So shout out to him, and thank you again for connecting us.
Awesome. Yeah, I was actually going to suggest him, hey, you need to get him on the mindset deal.
No, that guy's a rock star. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, I really enjoy him a lot, and he's got a great book out now. So anyway, well, obviously you can see the inspiration here, but I'll let you share what inspires you to get up and do what you do now.
Oh man, honestly, life is so short. I think it's so easy to take very simple things for granted. And as I've fortunately been in a position recently to become, more successful the last few years, I kind of find myself enjoying the little things that maybe I took for granted before more. That's what I'm going to. And that's only springboarded by investing and understanding finance and financial freedom. So my motivation is to try to share whatever knowledge and resources I have and build a community for other people who want to obtain that. And to be clear, what I mean by that, I teach it. I don't remember where I got the term from, but I didn't come up with it, but we call it the freedom number. And I tell people, hey, let's first define what you need to be financially free. And oftentimes when we start to put together a plan and we start to work towards that with individuals, they're kind of blown away because it's not what you think. I think everyone thinks pie in the sky, I need all these big things. But I have a saying, that goes back to education, start with the end in mind. What does it actually look like? Like, what if you did it? What if you actually obtained what you wanted? Let's paint that picture and then let's chunk it. Let's break it down into actionable steps and let's obtain that goal and that vision. And that's really what kind of gets me going and gets me motivated. I'm addicted to problem solving. It's just my personality. And I love seeing others succeed more than myself. It's actually one of the reasons I had to put this behind a paywall because I can't say no. And if I had just left this open to anybody, no financial commitment, I would have run myself into the ground and this would have been terrible and I wouldn't have delivered. And I'm trying to also be very mindful of, I want to be around those who are getting after it and really helping them ready to ascend. And that's really kind of my motivation.
Awesome. I mean, that's a great, there's a tip there, apart from inspiration, tip there, because that's breaking down to your end goal, which I've read in actually Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game. So that's exactly what it describes. Like people are surprised when they break it down. I'm like, oh, I really don't need that pie in the sky. I just need this much. So awesome. Well, all right. So now I have to ask for a tip, although you gave a tip. So now give another tip that you haven't shared before. So I don't remember the last one. Actually, I do remember, but I'll let you share a new tip, I guess.
Yes. My tip is to take action and at least once a week, and I don't think this gets talked about enough, do something that makes you a little uncomfortable, right? If you're thinking about working out and maybe you're starting to go to the gym, jump into a private training session. If you're thinking about financing, go to a networking event or sign up for a conference. Whatever it is that takes you out of that comfort zone, at least once a week, that's where real growth starts to happen. And if you're not pushing yourself and challenging yourself to get a little uncomfortable every now and then, it's very easy to fall back into complacency even when you level up slightly. We're trying to make up a wide delta. So even if you fall in between by getting uncomfortable, you'll be a lot further along in that journey. And I think you'll be pretty thankful for it.
That's a great tip. That's something I've learned 4 or 5 years ago when I did cold calling, and it wasn't fun when I did it. Yeah. But I learned it. Comfort zone, man. Yeah, comfort zone. Getting out of the comfort zone is hard, but you got to do it. Great tip indeed, Micheal. All right, awesome, Micheal. Thanks for taking the time. And like I said, hey, you can see from, if you see the recording, obviously you can see why Micheal is going to be effective teaching. You already see that. So
it wasn't the great beard. I thought that's what it was. So
well, that too. You got a great voice too, right? But you can see the teaching pattern there, right there. I was telling Micheal about who he is being, and that's what I see. I saw in Micheal. So, hey, if you're looking for a good teacher, mentor, mastermind, go reach out to Micheal, and maybe you can get on his next session. So, thanks, Micheal.
Thank you, Raj.